Alright, so this is a quick video on function basics. Shouldn't take much more than 5 minutes. So what's the best way to tell if an equation is a function? The easiest way is to graph the equation. Say I have two graphs, A and B. Graph A is going to be a U shape. And graph B is the same shape but on its side. Which one is a function? Pause the video until you decide. Graph A is a function, but graph B is not a function. I can tell because I can draw a vertical line anywhere on A and it will never touch more than once. However, if I try the same thing on B, the line touches twice. But what if I draw the line on graph B over here? Now it doesn't touch at all, so B is function, right? No. Remember, I said it can't touch more than once anywhere, so in this case, my first vertical line disqualifies it. So, A is a function, and B is not a function. Now time for vocabulary. Remember that domain is all x values, range is all y values, the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis, and the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So here's the graph. Take a minute to find the domain, range, x-intercept, and y-intercept. Pause the video until you are done. Okay, since domain is all x values, I'm going to draw a bar on top from the left side of the graph to the right side of the graph. Now, since my graph has arrows on the ends, I'm going to add arrows to my domain bar to show that it keeps going too. Now for range. To show the range, I'm going to draw a bar from the bottom of the graph to the top of the graph. The bottom of the graph has no arrow, so there's no arrow at the bottom of my range bar. The top of the graph does have an arrow, so the top of my range bar also needs an arrow. There are three x-intercepts, here, here, and here. And there's also one y-intercept, and that's here. Now that we have our graph marked, time to write the answers. For the domain, there are arrows on both sides of my domain bar, so that means my domain has to be from negative infinity to positive infinity. For the range, there's no arrow on the bottom of my range bar, so it stops at -2. But there is an arrow on the top, so that means it keeps going to positive infinity. There are three x-intercepts, and we have to write them as points, and they are -5, 0, 0, 0, and 5, 0. There's also one y-intercept, and that's at 0, 0. Okay, we have reviewed functions, domain, range, x-intercept, and y-intercept. At the end of this video, try to remember how to find each one. If you can't remember, check your notes. If you didn't take notes, watch the video again. See you tomorrow.